just finishing off a pint here for the night. It's actually, well, it's not Tuesday night, it's officially Wednesday morning, but it's the end of my night and I wanted to get this out to you guys for Wednesday. So, but it is officially Wednesday morning. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, I think, and just was out here doing some organization a little bit. So for this week, I figured I would just show you some sort of a truncated brewing session. I brewed on Monday night, and I'll show you some footage here at the end of this. Basically, second brew on the newsstand. I did a cherry wheat, or at least it's a base wheat. We'll get the cherry added to it later in the secondary. Everyone loved that beer, so I figured I'd do it again. Another 5-gallon batch, although I came up with about 6 again. So you'll see in there. I also decided this time to start fooling around with some water chemistry. You know, now that I'm out here, now that I've changed enough things, I figured I would take a look at that. So I'm just toying with it for now. I used an easy water spreadsheet to come up with some numbers. As I think I mentioned a little bit in the video, just real simple. I diluted my water because of the water test results that I had. An expert told me that if you dilute 50% distilled water, then it'll bring some of your numbers down into effect, into the right range. So I went ahead with those suggestions. I also added a little bit of salts. I added, I think it's 1.5 grams of gypsum, a little bit of calcium sulfate, I think it was called, or calcium chloride. I can't remember which. I think I mentioned it in the video. But anyway, again, it was just real light, just a couple grams of each kind of thing, just to kind of get my pinky toe wet into the you know, the water profile area. So we'll see how it comes out. I mean, you know, the cherry wheat was nice the first time I made it without doing anything to the water, but this time I figured, yeah, why not? Maybe the cherry wheat was something that was finished fairly recently. I think we ran out of it about 3 weeks ago. So I would like to say that it's still fairly fresh on our palate. That we'll see if there's any difference with the new one. Also had a little bit of a mishap with this brewing session. I guess I learned, you know, I'm kind of learning this whole thing. And here's, you know, this side is the boil kettle. I have a Whirlpool port up here, and I was told when I put this in by Bobby, not that he's wrong or anything, but I think it was just my mistake. But he told me I didn't need a valve on here, so I didn't put a valve on that port. I typically have a valve on every other port, as you can see here. You know, the hot liquor tank has its valve on there to turn that off. Turn it off at the mash tun, recirculation port. Everything has a valve. The sparge arm does not, and the Whirlpool port does not. So I figured, you know, I just left the hose attached to it when I was whirlpooling, which was fine during the whirlpooling stage. But when I went to transfer the cable or the hose from the whirlpooling port down to the chiller and getting ready to go into the fermenter, I mean, the liquid just started coming up. It didn't come out of this side, but it started coming out of the other side of the hose. So, ouch. Kind of hurt my fingers a little bit with the near boiling wort. Had it react quickly. I put a sanitized pail under there, caught whatever I could until it was done running, dumped that back into the boil kettle, did the whirlpool, or I guess redid the whirlpool, and then started chilling. So I think I saved the batch, got my volume. Everything was sanitized, so it should be fine. Plus, it was near boiling anyway, so it was probably fine. So relax and have a homebrew, I guess. Well, my pint's finally empty, so I'm going to shut up now. Enjoy the brewing footage. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. I'll talk to you next week. This time I'm trying adding the grains after the water's in there. messing around with the salts a little bit too. Trying to get a little bit into water chemistry just for the fun of it and see if I can make things any better. So as per a easy water calculator spreadsheet I found, I added 1.5 grams of gypsum in here and 3 grams of sodium. I think it's sodium chloride. So let's see what that does for us. Now, I like to got these pH strips. Test the pH of my mash before adding in the 5.2 stabilizer. Another thing I want to get into is maybe getting away from that. If I can figure out, I'd like to get away from that if I can figure out how to control pH better. If not, I'll just continue using the stabilizer. Alright, give this a minute to dry and see where we're at. So I checked my pH. It's a little over 5.0 or so, 5.1 maybe. I went ahead and put the stabilizer anyway. This is all kind of a guesswork anyway with this whole process. That's where we're at. So ready to start recirculation. So recirculating now. You know, the water volume was a little low for a 5-gallon batch in this pot and with this green bill. So I ended up having to put a little bit more water in the mash than I typically would use just so that this thermometer here would read right. But now we're good. We're just trying to stabilize at 150 mash temp. Right now we're at 154, so we're just letting it come down a bit. Right at 150. Perfect. Okay, so we've started to mash out. Temperature is raising. Sparge water. No, it's actually dropped below the temperature probe, so it's not really showing you an accurate temperature. But the water in there is about 170. So we're trying something different this time. Instead of using the sparge arm, I'm trying to use my recirculation arm. Just want to see how this works compared to the other way. So I got the flow rate coming in slow here. Maybe it's a little fast. We'll turn it down a little bit. So we're there we go. And now we're coming in at a good rate. And then we're coming into the boil kettle at a good rate as well. Okay, we reached our boil. So here goes our first hop addition. Half an ounce of holler towel. Now cleaning out the mash tun while we're waiting on the boil. Shout out to Tony Yates here. Hey Tony, how do you clean out yours? I know I put it in the request for you. I'm definitely interested in seeing what you're doing there. This I just take taking this little pot that I have and just scooping everything up until it gets to this kind of point. I might scoop out a little bit more, and then I'll just rinse it out, dump it out, and go from there. Then clean it with my cleaner and everything. So yeah, if there's an easier way, let me know, man. Now the boil is still rolling here. Doing good. Smelling nice. We're about 20 minutes into the boil, so I'm taking this opportunity to clean everything out. And I took a suggestion from a couple people on YouTube. So the left pump, I'm just using that for water now, and the right one is the one that I'm using for the wort. So don't have to clean out that pump anymore on the left. Only have to clean out the other one. So good times. 15 minutes left in the boil. We're going to put in our Whirlfloc tablet and some yeast nutrient. Five minutes left in the boil. Rest of our holler towel. Got our whirlpool going. And we're going to start the chilling process here shortly. So, we'll see how well this works again. First time it was kind of so-so. This time I'm going to let it whirlpool an extra 5 minutes. And then let it all settle, and then we'll see what we got. Alright, we're chilling now. 81 degrees. Again, very hot summer night brewing. This is just using the regular hose water to cool it down. A little bit better this time too with the return. Only got a little bit of hops this time on the first little bit coming out of there. So just run it off real slow. Keep the temperature down. Well, the whirlpool worked a little better this time. I guess because I let it go for a good 15 minutes this time instead of 10. And then I let it settle for a good 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I guess, before I started to chill. So I'd say it's pretty good. It's definitely better. Although I can see it starting to suck up some of that now. So we're almost done at our capacity too. We're almost at our 5-gallon mark in our fermenter anyway. So there you go, guys. Quick shot of the cleaning of the boil kettle after the brew day is over. Got some OxyClean in here. Just sending it through all the lines. Sending it through the whirlpool dip tube. And sending it through the pump. And through the chiller. And then we'll give it a flush. Some water afterwards and call it a day. Now it's time to add in our yeast. Collected a little bit more than we expected. That's about 5.5, almost 6 gallons. So, yeah, more beer. It's all good. Just hope I don't need a blow-off tube. Guess we'll find out.